cold. I should have grabbed a sweatshirt. Hello, everyone. Today we are finishing up our little week-long series on American craft whiskeys. Last time we did the weird ones. We did some wheat whiskeys. We did a beer whiskey. And today we're going back to normal stuff. So I've got 5 little sampling bottles from 3 different distilleries. And it is a mix of ryes and bourbons. So, you know, on the paper, conventional, normal. But, well, we shall see, won't we? All right, what have I got here? I've got some Far Norths. They're single varietals. For some reason, in my dementia-addled brain, I keep thinking Far North is one of those, like, European rye producers. Something about them looks very Nordic. Maybe it's the names. But, of course, they're not. They're in, like, Minnesota, right? Hold on. Let me double-check that. Yeah, Minnesota. Hallock, Minnesota. And I've got 2 of those. And we are also making a return to Spirit of French Lick, who we last saw in apple brandy form with their Old Clifty, one of my all-time favorite spirit names. And God help me, we are returning to Dad's Hat in Pennsylvania, who I've only had one other Dad's Hat rye, and oh my God, it was one of my favorite American ryes of all time. So we shall see if lightning strikes twice. Okay, so starting off with the Far North. This is... Wait, did I do this backwards? I was joking about dementia-addled brain, but yeah, we're doing it backwards today, I guess. We've put bottles over here and glasses over here. Whatever, it's a fun change of pace. All right, this is, what is this? Oklon, right? Oklon, single varietal rye whiskey by Far North Spirits. I mean, a lot of this sounds really cool. Like they're deliberately sourcing low yield, flavorful rye varietals and just making ryes out of those. This is 95% Oklon rye, unmalted, plus 5% of a malted Oklon rye. Distilled in their little hybrid pot still. Now, the only scary part about this to me is the aging. It is, what is this? Aged February 23 to August 24, so roughly a year and a half. And it was 15-gallon barrels, which is, oh God, math on camera, like 50, 60 liters, something like that. So that's a little bit scary. We are returning to the bad. So there's, again, the single varietal rye thing sounds very cool, but the aging thing sounds like a return to the bad old days of American craft whiskey. I don't know how this is going to go. 47% on the nose. I mean, this smells like a bakery. This smells like I have just stepped inside of a nice bakery doing a mix of, like, eating breads, but also some pastries, some sweet stuff in the back. Yeah, like fermenting baguettes. Someone is proofing some croissants, maybe, but there's some fruit croissants as well. Very, very yeasty. There's some florals. Hard to nail down what kind. Some blossoms, a little touch of lavender, maybe. We're certainly getting some vanilla, white pepper, almost a... You know what? Let's go mint. Sure, there's a little bit of a minty character here. A little mint pastel kind of thing. But yeah, I cannot get over that, like bakery at first thing in the morning kind of thing. There's a little bit of a muddy, grassy thing to this too, like just clumps of grass and mud. Interesting. I want to see what water does to this. I imagine water would open this nose up a bit. It feels a little bit cramped right now on the palate. So, not there yet. No, not at 18 months. But lots of potential, and it's still pretty good right now. Very, very forward in the mouth. Like super duper forward in the mouth. Like this is not even hitting my molars. Like it's stopping before molars, nothing really at all back here. That being said, there's a lot going on here that I'm enjoying. I'm really enjoying the minty character of this. Like I feel like I just like a Tic Tac just exploded in the front of my mouth. But at the same time, there's some flowers in there. White Tic Tac, basic Tic Tac. Yeah, flowers, vanilla, little cinnamon stick, white pepper, herbal tea, maybe something like that. Orange peel, that muddy, grassy thing. It is fermentary still, but it's not in the proofing bread kind of thing. It's more like it's more coming out in the flowers and the herbaceousness. There's a little bit of like a multigrain baguette kind of thing happening. I mean, I like it, but in my opinion, Far North needs to take this distillate and just throw it in a regular size barrel and forget about it for, I don't know, 5 to 6 years. And I think this would be really fabulous. It's got potential, but it's not. We're not there yet, at least not with this. But if you see it on an end of bin shelf at a reasonable price, I'm in. This is fun. All right, let's. It would make a killer Manhattan. Oh, it absolutely would. And it was, some drinks like that, like a Boulevardier, where the digestive kind of stuff is going to take care of the back end for you. This would be killer. All right, moving on though. Here is another Far North. This is the Hazlet. Sorry. And same kind of story. It's a single varietal rye, 95% Hazlet, 5% malted Hazlet, distilled in their hybrid still, aged in 15-liter barrels, I think. But this one sees longer aging. It is almost 5 years old. It's April 2020 to February 25. 50% ABV on this. Let's see what we've got. Really dusty. Wow, okay. I mean, like it smells like I went to the rainforest or something and I just stuck my face in the dirt. Like that, yeah, that's what I'm smelling. I'm smelling rainforest dirt. But nice. Okay, now it's starting to crack open. Dust, dirt. There's also some fruit coming through. We got some interesting fruit. There's some guava. Kiwi maybe? Tamarind? You got your cherry, you got your vanilla. Certainly a lot of barrel charry stuff, a little bit of a cigar ash thing. Nice cigar ash. Fresh spearmint. A little bit of dark chocolate. Not sure what kind of dark chocolate. South American dark chocolate. and a little bit of like a cinnamon red hot thing. Really, okay. I'm not sure if it was my nose getting adjusted to this, or if it was just it needed some time and swirling to open up. But this really went from I am sticking my nose into the dirt to a big old, a big old showcase of fruit and weird spices. Fun on the palate. I was telling you that the Oklon just needed more time. Bigger barrel too, but mainly more time. And here you go. Here's kind of here. This gives you some idea of what the result would be. Wow, this is fabulous. I'm not losing my mind over this, but it's a really fun kind of character. Very oily. Super duper oily mouthfeel, and the length. We're getting back into my tonsils a little bit here. It's not too deep. I mean, it's not a super duper old rye, but this just has way more presence to it. So let's walk through. You got your weird fruit stuff, some like guava, tamarind kind of things, along with the traditional kind of cherry stuff, spearmint, sage. Dirt, rainforest dirt, why not? Vanilla, some florals again, but almost like I'm chewing on wildflowers, but also it's got like stems and the leaves and stuff in there as well. There's a little bit of a multi-grain. No, not multi. We're like really just rye bread on this, like really dark, serious rye bread. Not Lithuanian, but like elsewhere in Europe. Cinnamon red hot thing is in action. Definitely lots of black pepper, that kind of like cigar ash kind of character. Just a better rye, just a better whiskey. And I think a lot of it has to do with the age. Like, both of these have very interesting personalities. This one is showing what it's got, just better. So we'll give this a squirt of water too, maybe a second one. I'm still getting used to the glasses being over here. All right, moving on. All right, here we go. On to the second distillery. Really interesting showing from the far north, folks. Let's go to Indiana here. All right, I have got two bourbons, but they are different mash bills. Very, very different mash bills. All right, this first one is the Mattie Gladden Bottled and Bond straight bourbon whiskey, 4 years old. And the mash bill in this is 55 corn, 35 rye, and 10% Victory malt. So except for the unusual malt choice, a pretty conventional high rye sort of mash bill. 50% ABV, of course, because bottle and bond, and double pot distilled on the nose. I mean, immediately, like, both more conventional, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, yeah. So you're getting vanilla. You're getting stewed Lipton's tea and toasted tree corn. You're getting some elote. I'm enjoying that. Also, a little bit of creamed corn in there. A little creamed corn funk. Certainly some black pepper, but also some. Oh, what is that? Some kind of herb. Let's go thyme and oregano. Not a ton of fruit on this, but it's there's a pleasant kind of toasted nutshells kind of character to this. Certainly some like some dried cherry. Even like an almond butter character. That's fun. And a nice kind of woody mustiness. A little bit of like a old attic thing. Plays well with the creamed corn kind of character. So yeah, it's we're bringing the grains into this, and we're bringing the corn into this. I'm not mad about that. The florals are fun. Again, it's wildflowers, but it's just as much about the stems and the green stuff. A little more kind of Lipton's tea. Just straight up like used tea bags as well as stewed tea. Okay, on the palate. I mean, yeah, it's a much more conventional profile than what the far norths were doing, but I do kind of like this more. Very, very peppery, very spicy. You were getting a mix of peppermint, dill, black pepper, and kind of cinnamon, like kind of all over your palate. But then it's got that kind of musty black tea thing at the middle of it, like at the core of the flavor profile. Some vanilla, florals, dried cherry. It's very chewy. I like this. Yeah, I mean, it presents as like a grungier version of, you know, a fairly traditional high rye bourbon. So if you've had, you know, your Bullets and your high rye MGPs and your old granddads, this is kind of on that spectrum. It just has that little bit of extra green and grunge, which I'm enjoying. And there's that almond butter thing again, and the nutshells. There's a nutty thing to this, which I wasn't appreciating enough on first sip. Pretty darn good bourbon, but I'll be honest, of the French licks, this is not the one I was excited about. 2. Because the one I was excited about is this stuff. This is the Lee W. Sinclair. And let me tell you the mash bill on this. We have got... same kind of thing, by the way. Bottled and bond, 4 years old. Double distilled. But this is 60% corn. There's actually more corn, but 17% wheat, 13% oat, and 10% caramel malt. So, lots to talk about there. This is a wheater, technically, but it's a wheater with some like beer malt thrown in, and it's a wheater with some oats thrown in. And anytime you get oats in a mash bill, we had that on the ransom last time. Anytime you get oats in the mash bill, well, first of all, I pity the person having to deal with that stuff, having to mash it and actually get it into the goddamn still. But respect, and I usually enjoy it because it usually provides a hell of a lot of texture. Here we go, on the nose. Okay, I may have to eat my words though, because this is a little bit quieter on the nose. Very subdued, actually. Yeah, there's like a dustiness, like you just went out in the wastelands of Indiana and just kicked up a big old dust cloud. But then there's some nice dried cherry floating around in your dust cloud. There's black tea on this too, but it's not Lipton's. It's more like we're drifting into like Ceylon tea territory. I'm getting a little bit of like a frosted mini wheats characteristic, but it's really pretty downplayed. That would be the wheat, I guess. I'm looking for oats, and I'm not really getting it. There's a nice pleasant graininess, a little bit of multi-grain bread. Certainly a fair bit of black pepper. A little bit of spearmint on this too. Wintergreen maybe. Cinnamon. Even a little allspice. Nice nose, but it's not as, it's not hopping out of the glass at me in the same way as the Mattie Gladden was. Sorry, I'm going to forget these names. Okay, interesting. On the palate. Ooh, spicy boy. Hold on. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. A lot of this plays some of the same notes as the Mattie Gladden. You've got that kind of like musty attic thing, the dried cherry thing, and there's a little bit of tamarind in here too. The black tea thing, it's a mix of maybe Ceylon tea and Lipton's, but then like it's kind of doing its own thing as well. There's a muddy, mud-covered, frosted mini wheats character to this that I really enjoy, and it's very, very peppery as well. Really, really serious texture for a 4-year-old. I don't think it's as oily as the Hazlet, but also has a very oily texture to it. But a peppery texture as well. Not as nutty. We're leaning more in like a mud and wheat cereal kind of direction. The oat is not really stepping out that much. It's really just providing a ton of texture, which is fun. There is some graininess on the palate here. Again, I'm going to go kind of multi-grain bread. That's the best I can do. I like both of these. These are really clearly related but different bourbons, and I'm enjoying them both. Okay, that's some water. I mean, we got a tight grouping here. Like, I'm really enjoying like these middle three. So it's going to be the water test that's going to kind of break these up. But, however, if I were to bet money on what was going to win this tasting, it wouldn't be any of these. It would not be any of these. Because there's a Dad's Hat on the table. I absolutely lost my mind over the first Dad's Hat single barrel cast strength barrel pick that I tasted, I think a year or two ago. And here's another one. This one is cast number 56 for Club Marzipan. Of course, distilled in Bristol, Pennsylvania. 80% rye, 15% malted barley, last I checked, and then the rest is malted rye. And this is 6 years old to the day. They distilled it on October 30th, 2018, and distilled it the same day in 2024. 64% ABV. Hold on to your hats. I didn't brace myself for that. Hold on. First of all, yeah, there is some alcohol nip. There is some alcohol nip, no denying that. But damn, this smells like an Amaro or something. This smells like a digestif. Super duper heavy on the tree bark, but also some like red fruit kind of stuff, cherry, but also like dried red currant. some orange peel in this. More tree bark. Certainly grainy too. There's like a burned oatmeal kind of character. A little vanilla sneaking through, cinnamon, cardamom. Natural shade-grown cigar leaf. Not Nicaraguan. This is more Honduras, maybe? Like a Honduran Puro. That's what this smells like. Oh, man. There's a little bit of like a rhubarb pie thing. Even some dried cranberry. Tea leaves. Some tobacco coming through. I'm amazed I didn't get tobacco in any of these others. I should have gotten that, but no, this is the one that's throwing some Virginias and Black Cavendish at me. But the Amaro aspect, the tree bark character on this is really undeniable. On the palate, God, not subtle. Oof. That's a kick in the teeth. Part of that is the strength. Part of that is just the power of the distillate. God damn. I swear, if you took a bunch of Brooklyn Amaro nerds and shoved them in a room with a bunch of hardcore, I don't know, like Shallow South whiskey fans and did not let them out of that room until they agreed on something, they would probably agree on this. This is so like austere in the best possible way. It's very bitter on the back end. Like it's yeah, intense on the tree bark. And the rhubarb pie and the tobacco, again, I mean, leaning more towards Burley's and Black Cavendish now, but kind of, same kind of territory. Just hits the back of your palate, wham, on the finish. Oh, cinnamon, cardamom, tea leaves, some fun herbaceous stuff. What is that? Parsley? I think it's just parsley. Yeah, let's go with that. Maybe some rosemary in there too. And basil. This is so raw. Oh. It's such a monster. But yeah, I mean, absolutely fabulous. I mean, I know I was talking about what a killer Manhattan the Oklon would make, but that Manhattan would be absolutely flattened by the one you could make with this. Good Lord. Okay, I'm going to add some water to this. It is so bitter on the back end in the best possible way. All right, give us some water. 2 squirts, 3, 4. We'll do at least 5. Probably 6 for this. And let's go 6. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, if you like your ryes on the friendly, desserty, vanilla and cherry side of things, do not buy this. You will not like it. But if you if you like ryes that are just aggressive and up in your face, here you go. Hard to beat what the Dad's Hat folks are doing right now. Let's go back through these, assuming I have a palate left. Goddamn. All right, back to the Oklon. I'm really curious to see where the aromatics go with this. Yes. Oh, that's fun. Okay. We're still like very much in a bakery with a whole bunch of stuff proofing, but now there's like a swimming pool in the middle of the bakery. Don't ask me to explain this, but that's the smell. It's like swimming pool smells. There's some chlorinated water, a little bit of maybe a rubber thing. Maybe there's some like floaties hanging around, rubber ducks. But then like fermentory stuff, bread, fermenting bread, flowers. Yeah, fun. I mean, this is a super fun nose now. But I didn't have a problem with the nose before. I was, I wanted to open up a little bit more, but that wasn't my point of complaint. Let's see if the palate is better. On the palate. No, I mean, I'm torn because now it's starting to push past my molars a little bit. But at the same time, everything feels just kind of like flatter. It feels like it's been clipped a little bit. Yeah, it's just too young. Like a 4, 5, 6-year-old version of this would be phenomenal. It just would be. Because I'm really enjoying what this is hinting at. I'm enjoying the massive weird fermentary stuff. There's some fermenting potatoes in this. I mean bread as well, obviously, but some plasticky elements, flowers, herbs. Aromatic-y stuff, spearmint, red hots. I mean, there's a lot going on here, but imagine how much better it would be if it just kind of stuck around and was able to say what it had to say with a little bit more conviction. Yeah, let's. This is hard. This is hard to score. I don't want to trash this because if you can get this at a good price, grab it. It's really there's something there, but in terms of score, we're still getting into the mid 80s with this. We're still getting in the mid 80s with this. I'll call this like an 84 baby emoji because that's what this is. This is a baby. All right, I can't really draw a baby, but that's the best we can do. Okay, 84 baby emoji, because if you see a version of this rye varietal that's older, grab it. I guarantee it'll be fabulous. But it's this one not my favorite. Moving on to the I forget all these names. Hazlet from far north. On the nose. Actually calmed down a little bit. Interesting. It's still very pretty. It's I mean it's got the kind of dirt thing, but in a different way from the Indiana stuff. We're in the Amazon rainforest dirt. Subtle fruit, spiciness, herbs. I mean, the far north folks are onto something here. They really genuinely are. But imagine how good this would be if it was aged in conventional casks. On the palate. Really good. Kind of liked it better neat, if I'm totally honest. Oof. Yeah. Water has kind of brought out the tannins on this in a way that's kind of throwing off the balance. It's very, very tannic. Almost a little chalky on the palate, but more tannins than chalk. The fruit is still there, the herbaceousness, the florals, that kind of mustiness, the earthiness. It's all kind of still there, but yeah, this was behaving better without water. Really nice up front, and then on the finish, yeah, the tannins just and the kind of come in and make it not so fun. Like, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with like really firm back end. Remember how much glazing I was doing of the dad's hat a second ago. The difference is the dad's hat was in balance. There was some crazy other stuff going on to balance off the intense like attack on the side to your mouth and on the back of the palate. Here, it doesn't feel like it's as in balance. Let me try the Oklon one more time. I do like it better than the Oklon. I'm going to give this like an 86 minus. Because I think you should keep the water away from this one. I think I liked it better before. In fact, why not? Better without water. 86 minus. A little bit like that Three Floyds from the last time. All right, let's move on. Well, first I need some water. All right, we are on to the French Lick. This is the Mattie Gladden. This is the high rye one, right? Let me tell you something. If you are like a conventional bourbon drinker and you've been burned by you were burned by craft stuff like 10 years ago, you still hold a grudge and you're still mad and you refuse to buy the stuff because craft is bad, you need to try something like this because it will open your mind. This is just nailing the profile you get on good OGD, like a good bullet, good resourced MGP high rye stuff. It's nailing that profile, but it's doing its own twist on it with really grungy stuff. Almond butter, nutshells, florals and herbs. Just a really, really good twist on classic bourboniness. You need to try this on the palate. Fabulous. Again, like just a great example of that style. Tons of pepper. I mean, it's lean and mean. You're getting your vanilla dry cherry street corn thing. But you're also getting your florals and spicy, cinnamony, peppery stuff. Slightly musty. What has water done? Maybe it made a little bit more grippy on the back end in a way that I'm enjoying. I mean, it's the craft bourbon that can bring like conventional heritage bourbon drinkers over to the craft side. Fabulous. I like it. 86 points for the Mattie Gladden. 86. All right, we're moving on. Are we going to have just like a straight up progression? You know, I have worried on occasion. Am I just grading the things at higher ABVs better? Am I just doing that? Maybe I am. Because so far the score is just going up and up and up. Let's see if I don't want the Lee W. Sinclair to break that trend because I want this to be good. But let's see if that happens. Oh, super duper nice. After dinner mints and frosted mini wheats. But you know, with that kind of like French lick mustiness to it, like some tea elements, black pepper. I keep looking at tobacco for tobacco in these because I was getting it so intensely with the dad's hat. No, not really. No tobacco in this. It's just a nice. It smells like a nice weeder. That's what it smells like. Kind of grainy too. It's got like a oatmeal-y thing, a multigrain bread thing on the palate. Just a damn good wheated bourbon, honestly. Like, those of you killing yourselves to seek out, I don't know, Weller Green Label, for God's sake. What are you doing? Try this. Honestly, sit yourself down, get a glass of water, pour this, try it. Just a fabulous wheated bourbon. That's what this is. I feel like the oats are providing a little bit of extra texture on this, but that, you know, they're not so obvious in the profile. There's a graininess to this. There's certainly a vanilla, a traditional bourbon-y, vanilla-y, cherry kind of thing to this, but it's also, there's some mint. And, you know, there's some frosted mini wheats. A little bit grippier with water. Otherwise, pretty similar. Score-wise? I don't know. Let me try the Mattie again. No, this is better. It's not that much better, but it's better. I'm stuck between an 86 and an 87, so I'm just going to call this an 86 plus. 86 plus for this fabulous little wheated, oated bourbon, and let's move on. Unless this really goes wrong with water, this is winning the lineup. Dad's Hat on the nose. It's so good. I'm telling you. This is so good. It's raw. It's so intense on the rhubarb pie, tree bark, abrasiveness, aggression. This is not going to hold your hand. It's going to attack your hand. It's going to try to chop it off with a blade made of tree bark. But I'm okay with that. Cinnamon, cardamom, clove. It's a fabulous profile. On the nose. Here we go. Ooh. So here's the bad news. I don't think this is as good as the last Dad's Hat I tried. I don't think it's up there. The good news is it's still fabulous. Yeah, there's a nice herbal, vanilla, fruity thing up front, florals, some cinnamon spice, and in the back end it just slaps you with bitter tree bark and rhubarb pie. Oh God, this is a fabulous signature. I'm just drinking this. Score-wise, I want a little bit more detail on this. I want a little bit more complexity. It is such a bruiser. It has such enormous power on it. I'll call this an 88. This is straight 88 pointer. Just a great American whiskey. 88 points. And yeah, that is the video. So we did, in fact, have just a straight progression in score. So 84 baby for the Oklon. Lots of potential with this. I feel like if this had the same kind of age as the Hazlet, I would like it better, but it's as is. It's still pretty good. 86 minus for the Hazlet from Far North. Potential, it doesn't like water. And I think it would be better with conventional casks. The French Licks, the Mattie Gladden, gets a, what did I give this? 86. A hair better with the Lee W. Sinclair, 86 plus, and it's just like a matter of taste with this. I feel like if you prefer conventional heritage whiskeys, you will prefer the Mattie Gladden. No, that's not even true. If you are a high rye person, let's go with this. If you're a high rye person, you will like the Mattie Gladden. If you're a weeder maniac who tends a little bit weird, you will like the Sinclair. And your winner, and it's not really a surprise, annoyingly so, is the Dad's Hat at 88 points. And that is the video. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week. What are we doing next week? Well, I guess I have to do an awards video at some point. Let's do some cognac. Why not? Thanks for watching, and cheers.